You used to blend in with the world around you. You followed the script that was given to you. You laughed when others laughed. You cared about the same things: success, approval, belonging. But then something changed. It wasn't a loud change. It wasn't always visible from the outside. But inside you, a deep shift began. Slowly, the old version of you started fading, and you began waking up. What used to excite you now feels meaningless. What used to matter doesn't. And in the process, something strange starts happening. People begin to look at you differently. Friends drift away. Family doesn't quite understand you. Some call you too deep. Others say you're distant or weird. And you feel it. You've become the odd one, the one who doesn't quite fit in anymore. But here's the truth. This isn't a mistake. It's actually one of the clearest signs of real spiritual awakening. Awakening doesn't just change your thoughts. It changes your vibration. And as your energy shifts, everything around you starts reacting to that shift. Not everyone reacts with love or understanding. In fact, most don't. Why? Because when you wake up, you stop playing by the rules of the collective dream. You stop pretending. You stop agreeing just to keep the peace. You stop chasing the things society told you would make you happy. You begin to see through it all, through the illusions of identity, status, and even emotional attachment. And that makes people uncomfortable. Not because you're wrong, but because your awakening triggers something deep in them, something they've been avoiding. So you become a mirror. Just by being you, you show others what they are not ready to face within themselves. Your peace highlights their anxiety. Your silence reveals their inner noise. Your authenticity shines light on their masks. They may not say it out loud, but they feel it. And that discomfort often comes out as rejection, judgment, or withdrawal. And you're left wondering, why do I feel so alone now? Why does awakening feel like isolation? It's because you're not part of the same mental movie anymore. You used to be a character in the same storyline. Now, you've stepped behind the curtain, and most people still believe the play is real. This is one of the most painful but necessary phases of awakening. The loss of belonging, the grief of disconnection, the ache of being misunderstood. But here's what's important to remember. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're not here to convince them. You're not here to fit in. You're here to wake up. And sometimes, waking up means walking alone. Not forever, but long enough to fully detach from the need to be accepted. Because only when you stop looking for approval on the outside can you find truth on the inside. Let's get real. Being seen as the weird one can feel like rejection. But if you look closer, it's actually redirection. Life is moving you away from people, patterns, and spaces that no longer resonate with your frequency. You're not being punished. You're being cleansed. The shedding is necessary because who you were was never the real you. It was the survival version of you. The people who resonated with that version may no longer connect with who you're becoming. That's not a loss. That's alignment. There are signs this shift is happening. You start finding small talk unbearable. You crave silence, not because you're sad, but because your soul feels full there. You stop trying to prove yourself. You no longer resonate with consumerism, gossip, or competition. You don't care about being somebody anymore. You just want to be. You start to feel like an outsider in your own life. These are not signs that something is wrong. They are signs that something real is being born. And yes, people might think you're strange. They might call you names. But remember, being called weird in a world that's asleep is actually a compliment. It means you're no longer hypnotized. You're no longer moving with the herd. You're seeing through the script. And once you see through it, you can't unsee it. That's the beginning of spiritual maturity. When you'd rather be alone in truth than connected in illusion. So what do you do when you're the weird one? First, stop trying to shrink yourself to be digestible for others. Your awakening is not too much. It's too real. Second, realize that you're not alone. There are millions of people around the world going through the same shift. You might not see them in your neighborhood, but they're out there, awakening in silence. Find your soul family. And if you haven't yet, don't force it. Let it unfold. Third, protect your energy. Don't explain your journey to people committed to misunderstanding you. You don't owe anyone access to your inner world. Most importantly, stay rooted in the present moment. That's your anchor. Because when you're grounded in presence, other people's opinions lose their power. You start seeing them for what they are, expressions of unconscious conditioning. Not truth, just noise. And once you're free from needing the world to get you, you'll feel an unshakable peace arise. Not the peace that comes from external harmony, but the peace that comes from inner wholeness. Here's something powerful to remember. Many of the greatest spiritual teachers, mystics, and sages were seen as weird. Buddha walked away from a palace life to meditate under a tree. Jesus wandered alone, challenging religious structures. Rumi wrote poetry about silence and the divine while the world chased gold. These beings weren't chasing approval. They were embodying truth. And their truth shifted the world, not through noise, but through presence. You too are part of this silent revolution. A collective shift in consciousness is happening, and you're one of the forerunners. You may feel like an outsider, but really, you're a pioneer. You're not weird. You're just ahead of your time. You're seeing what others will one day come to understand. So don't water yourself down to fit in. Stand in your awakening. Own it. Live it. Because your very presence plants seeds in others. Seeds that may bloom years from now. Let people call you weird. Let them whisper. Let them wonder. You're not here to be accepted by the dream. You're here to wake up from it. And in doing so, you give others silent permission to wake up too. So if you've been feeling out of place, know this. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not too deep. You're not too quiet. You're not too sensitive. You're just real in a world that's addicted to fake. Keep going. You're not alone. You're just walking the path most avoid. And in that path lies the most sacred freedom of all. Freedom from the need to be anything other than your true self. Thank you for walking through this journey with me. If you made it to the end of this video, you're not just watching, you're awakening. You're one of the few who are truly listening to the deeper call within you. And that means something. You're not weird, you're just real. And you're not alone, even if it feels that way sometimes. I want to personally thank you for your presence here. Your journey matters. Your awakening matters. And the world needs awakened beings like you, now more than ever. If you're looking to go even deeper on this path, I invite you to check out my spiritual book, Awaken Your Spiritual Power. This book was written straight from the heart. during the most intense phases of my own awakening journey. It's not filled with fluff. It's filled with truth. Simple, raw, grounded truth that speaks directly to the soul. Whether you're going through ego death, feeling lost, disconnected from society, or just beginning to awaken, this book will hold your hand through the dark and help you remember the light within. You can find it now on Amazon. Just search Awaken Your Spiritual Power by Ndamulelo Munyai and start reading today. Again, thank you for being here. Keep honoring your truth, no matter how strange it may seem to the world, because you didn't come here to fit in. You came here to wake up. Namaste.